I honestly think that anybody can do it.
Good morning. It is currently 8:18 a.m. on the 23rd of March, and today I am going to start training for a 10-kilometer race. I am taking part in the 10K event at the Napier Half Marathon on the 15th of May. So we have 8 weeks to get ready. I am planning on doing 2 shorter runs and 1 longer run every single week. And it's going to be a challenge. I really have to learn to be more disciplined. I'm not a natural runner. And I thought, you know, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So I'm hoping this video will be inspiration for you to get out there and go for a run. Today, I am planning on doing a 4-kilometer run. We can do it. PSA, you are going to see me red hot and sweaty for practically this whole video, but this is real life. Good news is I just got back from my run. I ended up doing a bit over 4K. So since I spoke to you last, I have done 2 other runs. First off, I've done 3 runs. First off, I did a 3K run. I went to a local soccer field and made sure it was flat so I could really get a gauge on my time. I ended up feeling so good that morning, and I had a really fast pace. Too fast though. It is not what I'm aiming for with my 10K. The second run I did was on Saturday at Parkrun in Lower Hutt. Parkrun is a worldwide initiative and I went with some friends. I've never done it before, so it was really cool to experience it for the first time, and I loved it. And my aim was just to get under half an hour for my 5K, and I managed to do it. And then this morning I did another run. I did 3.5 kilometers. It was meant to be 3, but I was like, heck, let's go a bit further. And I can already notice that my fitness is improving, but I think the real test will be starting to do a few longer runs like 6K and 7K. So yeah, that is where I am at the moment. Hello. I went for the best run of my life last Saturday. I finished work and I smashed out 8Ks. I was feeling so good. I was only going to do 5, but I just kept running. It just gave me a whole new sense of momentum and enthusiasm. I am about to go on another run now. So far, I'm just really enjoying it and loving having something to work towards. Okay, so I just finished doing like a 2.5K-ish run. I did wake up with a sore throat, and just in general, I find I don't run as strong in the mornings, but it is good for me to be running in the morning because the 10K is in the morning, so I need to get used to it. But yeah, not feeling as, on fire as I have the past few runs, but that's okay. I can't expect to feel amazing all the time. This weekend, hopefully, I'm going for a run where I used to live on the Coromandel, so that will be really nice to be running by the beach there. And I mean, though, Wellington has an endless amount of beautiful running spots, so I am not complaining. Good morning. I have not updated you all in a while. Last week I did a 9K run, which I was so happy with. And when I did that, I thought I can do this, which is a great feeling. This morning I am going to try and do another longer run. And yeah, just keep going, keep pushing. We're only a few weeks out now. Also, the other morning I was meant to do a 3K run on Thursday and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get out of bed and do it. That's the first time I've bailed so far, and I think it was justified, maybe. It is Thursday, the 29th of April, and I am about to attempt a 10-kilometer run. So wish me luck. Guys, it is only 8 days until race day, which is crazy. This morning I went for a really short run. My Fitbit just wasn't working. It wasn't on my other run either, which sucks. So it wasn't very accurate. Saturday will be my last longer run before the day, because apparently you're not meant to do any big runs in the lead up. So I'm going to follow that plan. That is the last big run done. It is Tuesday the 11th of May and it is my very final run before I race on Saturday. So I'm just doing a quick 3 kilometers, just gonna go hard out. It is wet and windy outside, but I know that my body needs this to feel prepared for Saturday. It is race day, everybody. I am on my way to the start line. I don't know how much I'll get to film, but I am nervous, excited. I just hope my training has prepared me for this and I can just go and enjoy it.
Summer came with your smile. When I found you there, the sun was up.
We did it! Woo! We are leaving Elephant Hill. We did it! Woo! Woo! 10K, half K. Half K. I just ran 500 meters. I'm delirious. Never thought I'd do it. So I'm very proud of us.
Yes, very proud.
If we can do it, you can do it.
That is true.
Well, everybody, I did it. I ran 10 kilometers. I just don't think 13-year-old Emily would believe it if I told her that I just did that. And I honestly think that anybody can do it. Even if you hate running or you feel like you'll never have the fitness for it, I really think you can. And I want to share with you my top tips for running your first 10K and really what I wish I knew before starting this process, because I have learnt so much. So let's just dive right in. The first thing is to pace yourself. If you read any article online about running your first 10K, it will say to pace yourself, go slow, and definitely with the race and runs that you're doing, you want your first few kilometers to be a slower pace and then increase in fastness. And this is something that I didn't do. And I think honestly it led to my downfall. My time on the day was exactly an hour and I was aiming for under an hour. So that was a bit hard, but I think one of the reasons that happened is because I was not pacing myself. I was just so excited to be running and I thought that I could keep up this unrealistic pace, and then that meant that the last few Ks just weren't as strong as they could have been. So pace yourself, listen to the experts. Alongside doing 3 runs a week, that really worked for me, doing 2 shorter ones and then 1 longer run. I would highly recommend including some strength training in your exercise schedule. I didn't do this and I think it really would have helped just improve my overall fitness while I was running as well. Whether that's HIIT workouts or lifting weights, I think it would just be really helpful to build that up in your system, because I don't think I was as strong as I could have been. Next is to not overload on carbs, especially in the week prior to the race. Running for an hour, yes, is a long time, but it's not that long. Like, you're not going to starve. And I found that I had too many carbs in the week leading up. So on race day, I was just feeling a little bit heavy and weighed down. Like, we definitely need some of those complex carbs in our food. Do not get me wrong, but I think I was overeating them to try and give me more energy when it just made me feel sluggish. Another thing that perhaps led to my time not being exactly what I wanted it to be was because the Fitbit I was training with, turns out, was measuring the wrong distance. It wasn't entirely accurate, so this wasn't giving me the right information and results that I would have liked. You guys saw all my training, and I think maybe I thought I was doing longer runs than I actually was, because the racetrack on the day in Hawke's Bay was felt way longer. In fact, my Fitbit said that I ran 11.5 Ks when, according to the track, I did 10 Ks. So, it was really frustrating to see that at the end of the race. So I would just recommend comparing your Fitbit, Apple Watch to the kilometers by maps or some other method so that you know it's producing accurate results. And if you don't have a Fitbit or Apple Watch or anything like that, I would highly recommend investing in one. It's just a really helpful tool for this whole experience. Another thing I wish I had done was to get one of those like arm wristband things to hold your phone in while you're running, or just some other way to store my phone that's not holding it when I'm running, because I think this was probably quite distracting, even though I was used to it. That's every time I run, I'm holding my phone with me. There are alternative options, and I wish that I had looked into them. As you can tell, gear is so important. Like, I think I underestimated how important it is to feel comfortable when you're running. One of my biggest mistakes was buying a pair of running shoes that actually didn't fit me well. I should have gone to get some running shoes professionally fitted, and I would so encourage you to do this. I could feel that my feet were hurting because of these shoes that were way too small for me while I was running, and it just really threw me off, So invest in good running shoes that fit, and also just don't even bother with activewear or running wear that isn't comfortable. You need to feel comfortable when you run. You don't want your leggings to be riding down and falling off, or you don't want to be adjusting your straps. Like, if you're a gal, invest in a good sports bra. Bend On here in New Zealand do amazing sports bras, just a PS there. But you want to feel 100% comfortable so you can run at your best. When you are training, run on the type of ground where the race is going to be. Even if you're not doing your 10K as a race, just pick the right terrain for you. When I started training here in Wellington, there were lots of hills and it was going like that, and I quickly realized that I needed to be running on flat ground for it to be more accurate to race day, and also just to get a better vibe about how I was running rather than struggling up hills and then my time was all over the show. And running on flat ground is just way more enjoyable. Create a killer playlist for your race day so that the songs play in order of what you want to pump you up at all the right times. Or maybe you're a podcast person, or maybe you don't want to listen to music at all. Figure out what works best for you when you run. My next tip is to repeat those positive affirmations when you are running. It sounds lame, but in my head, I had to just say, you've got this, you can do this, you have trained for this, you are good, you are strong, you are fit. All of those things that we see in self-help books can actually be very powerful if you truly believe in them, especially in those moments when you're struggling and you just want to start walking, or you just think, why am I doing this? Just repeating your why to yourself makes the biggest difference and just really helps with motivation. Definitely eat something before you run. I would sometimes wake up in the mornings and not eat anything at all, barely drink any water, and well, my run wasn't very good. Surprise, surprise. So even if it's just an hour before, just having an apple with some peanut butter, just something like that that gives you a burst of energy but doesn't make you feel gross or too full. It's so important. And hydrate. Drink lots the night before if you're going for a run in the morning, or drink lots throughout the day if you're running in the afternoon when you're training or whenever the race is. You need water in your system, and I think I could have trained better if I was focusing more on that. Stretch. I did not stretch enough. I think we are all guilty of not stretching after running or working out, and it wasn't good. I feel like I could have had more loose limbs, and that sounds really silly, but just felt fitter and stronger, and that my muscles were more ready for the race if I had been stretching more consistently throughout training. One thing I'm really proud of myself for doing is being consistent and sticking with a plan. Throughout this whole process, I have just been amazed at how much your fitness can increase if you are persistent, and if you go out there and run on the days that you have planned to run, even when you don't feel like it. That is what is going to build up your running fitness and your confidence in what you're doing, because you're sticking with it and your body is getting used to that rhythm and that pattern. Even if it's just 2 kilometers in the rain, like I did do, as you saw, it doesn't matter. It is about the frequency rather than having all of these perfect runs. I'm really happy that I was aiming for a time throughout my whole process, even though I was a minute or so over. I am still really happy I did that, because it kept up that competitive spirit within me to work harder. But don't make it the be all end all, especially if it is your first 10K. I just wish I could tell past Emily after she had finished her race, girl, you've just run 10K. Who cares about your time? You have just proven to yourself and to your 13-year-old self that you can do that. That is insane. So although it is good to have a goal to motivate and encourage you, don't focus on it too much. Just focus on being consistent, making use of these tips that I didn't put into place when I was training, and just like have a good time. You know, it's an incredible thing that our bodies can do this. Shout out to the event organizers. It was the most incredible race, and it's just so satisfying working towards something you never thought you would be able to achieve and then finally doing it. So if you're thinking about running more or doing a 10K or a half marathon, or heck, even like 2 kilometers, do it. I promise you, you can do this. You will surprise yourself and miracles can happen. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit thumbs up on this video as well. I will see you next time here on my channel.